In this video, I'm going to be giving you 30 tips to improve your recovery in just 13 minutes. We're going to be going over how you can optimize your sleep, diet, as well as your lifestyle to help you recover as fast as possible. Just before we get started, my name is Charlie. I'm a bodybuilder, BJJ fighter, level 3 personal trainer, have over 7 years of experience in the fitness industry and have helped many clients gain muscle, build strength and lose weight. If you're interested in online coaching, just check the link in the description. So we're going to be broken up into 3 categories. First category is going to be going over everything you can do in regards to sleep. Second will cover your diet, and then third will be just general lifestyle. So starting off with sleep with tip 1, which is going to be to ensure you're getting enough sleep each night. This is going to vary person to person. General sort of recommended amount is going to be about 7 to 9 hours. However, if you train, it's probably going to be slightly more, so try and stick to the higher end. You want to sleep enough to the point where when you wake up, you don't feel really tired and you don't really feel like you need much more sleep. So try to go to bed a bit earlier and dedicate more time to sleep to ensure that you're sleeping enough each night. Tip 2 is going to be to optimize the quality of your sleep. So the better quality sleep you're getting and the more deep sleep you're getting, the more effective that sleep is going to be for your body to actually recover. So make sure you're sleeping in a room that's nice and cold, dark and also quiet. Avoid things that are too stimulating too late in the evenings, and avoid caffeine too late in the evenings as well, to ensure that your sleep is at a high enough quality. Tip 3 is going to be to optimize the consistency of your sleep. So you want to make sure you're sleeping roughly sort of a similar time each night throughout the week, as if you were to undersleep on any certain day, it's going to create some sort of sleep debt, which is going to mean that you're going to need to sleep more in the future nights to make up for that lost sleep. So try and have sort of a good night routine and go to bed and wake up at similar sort of a time each week if you can. Just before we go into the next tip, I'd like to make you aware of a free opportunity to massively improve your fitness progress. What it is a free email campaign that's going on for 31 days. Each day will be a different tip to help you with pretty much everything in your fitness journey, from the training itself, eating, recovery, supplements, mindset, motivation, goal setting, building muscle, gaining strength, pretty much anything you could ask for. Again, it's 100% free, linked in the description, so make sure to check that out. Tip 4 is going to be to avoid caffeine too late in the afternoon or evenings. So caffeine will essentially stop you from being sleepy and stop you from feeling tired, which can be good when you're looking to train and improve your energy. However, that will negatively affect your sleep. Try and avoid having caffeine about 8 to 10 hours before you go to sleep. If you are going to train in the evenings, make sure you're having a stim-free pre-workout instead. Tip 5, try to get a bit of sunlight in the morning if you can, preferably within the first hour that you wake up, as this will help to set your circadian rhythm, making it easier for you to fall asleep later on in the day and get good quality sleep, and also getting a good routine of sleep. When you are getting this sunlight, make sure that you're actually outside, as this will be more effective than just viewing it through like a window. If it's sunny, try and get at least 5 minutes, whereas if it's cloudy, try and get at least 10 minutes to ensure that you're getting the most benefits from that morning sunlight. Tip 6, try and have like a wind down routine in the evenings to make yourself sleepy and help you to fall asleep easier. So maybe like avoiding too much of like phone usage or social media, avoiding too many bright lights, maybe doing something like reading or something that's calming in the evenings to help you get in that sleepy mood. Tip 7, try and avoid eating too late before you go to sleep, as when your body eats, it will have to expend energy to actually digest that food. And if you try and sleep too close to when you're actually eating, it will mean that your body temperature is still slightly elevated, and therefore making it harder to go to sleep, as in order to actually fall asleep, your body temperature does need to drop slightly. And it can also be uncomfortable sleeping if your stomach is full of food. Tip 8, try and avoid too much blue light in the evenings, as it will make it harder for you to actually fall asleep and get into a deep sleep. So if you're using like your phone, for example, make sure you have any blue light filter on it to stop any blue light from getting to your eyes. You could also wear like blue light blocking glasses, but in general, it will be best to avoid any sort of devices a certain amount of time before you go to sleep. And also, if you are using devices, make sure to dim the lights as well. Tip 9, try and avoid training too late before you go to sleep. So this is similar to the eating one. After you've trained, your body temperature is going to be slightly elevated. Also, your heart rate is going to be elevated as well, both of which are going to make it quite hard to fall asleep. So try and avoid exercising too intensely in the evenings. Try and do it instead a bit earlier on in the day so that it doesn't negatively affect your sleep. Tip 10, try and avoid alcohol as much as you can. As you'll know, for some people, it may make it easier for you to actually fall asleep. It will result in your sleep quality being decreased and therefore negatively affecting your recovery. So try and avoid alcohol as much as you can, and if you are drinking consistently, try and come back slightly, as by cutting back on alcohol, it will have a positive effect on your sleep. Next category is going to be all to do with tips in regards to your diet. Tip 11, try and make sure you're getting enough protein in throughout the day, as protein is going to be very important for muscle growth, as well as recovering from your training as well. A general sort of rule, try and get close to about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So you can still recover on less than that, but if you want to optimize your recovery, try and get close to that 1 gram per pound of body weight. Tip 12, to truly optimize your recovery, you want to try and split your meals up quite a bit throughout the day, as if you're having them too close together or just having like 1 or 2 really big meals, it's only really going to be 1 or 2 opportunities for muscle protein synthesis to occur. So best case scenario for your recovery will be that the meals are quite spread out throughout the day, as if you go too long without ingesting protein, you will have missed opportunities to actually optimize your recovery. So yeah, try and make sure that you're timing your meals and spreading them out throughout the day. Tip 13, make sure you're having enough calories throughout the day. So if your goal is just to build muscle and to get stronger, try and eat at least at your maintenance calories or a very slight surplus, as this will mean that you have more energy and it will make it easier for you to recover from your training. Tip 14, try and stay hydrated throughout the day, as muscle is mostly just water. So if you don't have enough water readily available, it is going to limit your muscle growth and does also limit your recovery. So general sort of rule, try and have at least 2 litres of water each day. However, if you're in an environment that's going to be quite hot or if you're sweating quite a lot, you're probably going to need to have more than that to actually stay hydrated. Tip 15 is going to be to do with slow digesting versus fast digesting protein sources. So protein sources like whey are going to be quite fast digesting, meaning once you actually have them, it's going to go into your body quite quickly and your body's going to start using it quickly to actually support muscle growth and recovery, whereas slow digesting proteins like casein are going to take a little bit longer to actually digest. Knowing this, you can have any whey either in the mornings or when you've gone a long time without eating, and having a casein either later on in the day as your last meal or before you're going to go a significant amount of time without eating, to therefore maximise the amount of time that your body's actually using that protein to recover. Tip 15, try and eat healthy / nutritious as well as getting your protein and calories in. So although your protein and your calories are going to be the most important things for you to track, do try and still eat generally healthy, as this will allow your body to function at its best and will also support your recovery as well, as if you're deficient in a certain vitamin or mineral, it can negatively affect your recovery and worse than that. So by eating nutritiously, getting enough vitamins and minerals throughout the day, it will ensure that your body is functioning at its best and also that it's recovering at its best. Tip 17, when you're cutting, try and avoid too big of a calorie deficit. General sort of maximum rule is going to be to lose 1% of your body weight maximum each week. The only exclusions to that rule would be if you're like massively overweight or obese, but in general, try and limit your rate of weight loss to about 1% of your body weight each week, preferably no closer to about 0.5% each week, as if you're dropping your calories too much, it will negatively affect your recovery. Tip 18 is going to be to do with the amount of meals that you have each day. So we mentioned trying to get enough protein in and also ensuring that those meals are timed out throughout the day. General sort of sweet spot is going to have about 4 or 5 meals each day that have protein in them. And this will also include snacks as well. This tends to be in the sweet spot for muscle growth as well as recovery. Any more than that, you won't really see much benefits. So yeah, try and have about 4 or 5 meals containing protein each day. And then the last block of tips is going to be all to do with lifestyle choices you can make. So tip 19 is going to be to lower and monitor your stress. So a little bit of stress is fine every now and then, but if you're chronically stressed and you're stressed too much of the time, it will raise your cortisol levels and negatively affect your recovery and your muscle growth. Try doing things that are relaxing and that calm you down, and avoid things that are too stressful to avoid being too stressed throughout the day. Tip 20 is going to be to try meditating. So this will help to massively reduce your stress, and it will also have positive effects in terms of you being more mindful and just more happy in general. Tip 21 is going to be to try and use saunas to help you with your recovery. So saunas will increase your blood flow, help you to relax, and it will also increase your heat shock proteins, all of which are going to be beneficial for when you're trying to recover. Tip 22 is going to be to try using things like cold showers or cold plunges to help with your recovery. So these will help to reduce inflammation, reduce soreness, reduce nervous system fatigue, and will also increase blood flow, all of which will be beneficial for recovery. Tip 23, try and do static stretching after your training, as this will help your muscles to actually cool down and will also reduce the soreness that you experience after your training. You want to avoid static stretching before your training. However, once you've done either your workout or your cardio, by doing static stretching, it will be beneficial for your recovery. Tip 24 is going to be to ensure that you're doing a proper cool down after your training. So if you were to just go from training very intensely and then just going to sitting down or just laying down straight after that, it won't be in the best case scenario for your recovery. But if you were to do like a cool down, it will help to reduce the lactic acid within your body and will also help you to experience less soreness after your training and therefore benefit in your recovery. Tip 25, try and make sure you're supplementing with creatine, as not only will this help you with your performance in the gym, but it will also help you to recover after your training, as it will help to replenish the creatine stores within your muscles and also just help you in general with muscle growth as well as recovering from training. Tip 26, also make sure you're having omega-3s. So these will help to reduce inflammation and they'll be beneficial for your joints and help them to stay healthy and will also help you to recover from your training. So make sure you're getting enough omega-3s in each day. There will be benefits after just a few hundred milligrams, but if you truly want to get the best anti-inflammatory benefits, try and get close to about maybe 1 to 2 grams. Obviously, see how you feel and build your way up. But yeah, try and aim for about 1 to 2 grams of omega-3s each day. Tip 27, try using a massage gun on the muscle that you just trained after your workout, as this will help to increase blood flow to that muscle and also help to reduce soreness and therefore helping you to recover after that workout. Tip 28, you can also try foam rolling, which will accomplish pretty much the same thing. It will help to increase blood flow as well as help to decrease soreness after your training and therefore helping that muscle to recover after you've done that workout. Tip 29 is going to be to take a deload when necessary. So if you're just training, progressively overloading and training harder week after week, eventually you're going to get to a point where you're going to be too burnt out. It's important that you do take deloads when you need to, so you can still go to the gym and train, but you'll be training at a much lower intensity and also doing less volume. So you'll only be lifting like half the weight you'd normally do, so the sets will feel quite easy, as this will give your body a chance to actually recover from all that accumulated fatigue, help resensitize yourself to your normal training. Just do it for maybe 1 or 2 weeks and then you'll be fully recovered to go back into your normal training. And then lastly, tip 30 is going to be to ease into eccentric focused or stretch focused training. This will be very beneficial for muscle growth. However, it's important if you're either a beginner or you haven't really done it much before to ease into it, as it can create a lot of soreness and also does have the potential to lead to injuries if you're not warmed up properly, you're not used to the movements and you're not flexible enough to actually do them. So make sure to ease into it, only add in maybe 1 or 2 sets and involving this sort of training each week. Avoid breaking your muscles down too much to a point where you can't recover properly from that training. So that's going to conclude all 30 tips. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to subscribe and like. As I mentioned in the beginning, there'll be links in the description to online coaching, as well as that free email campaign I mentioned earlier. So make sure to check both of them out. If you'd like to see a complete guide to sleep, just click the video and it'll be here. And then I'll see you in the next video. Bye.